Okay, now we're going to get over to Joe Rogan in this whole situation in regards to Arie boycotting Spotify. Spotify is definitely trying it. They're saying that they're going to continue to back this man that used the N-word over like literally 50 times. In the clip that I watched, it felt like over 50 times. And he also called black people Planet of the Apes. And listen, I can't make this up if I try to. Then Joe Rogan gonna go on Instagram and give this sideways apology. Say, well, I'm not racist. I was just talking about how one group of people can use the N-word and other people can't use the N-word. Okay, but what about this Planet of the Apes comment? He literally said he went to go see Planet of the Apes in the black community. And he said as soon as he got out the car, it was like he was living in Planet of the Apes. What? How is that not a racist comment? And the thing is, I don't listen to this man's show. I never was into his stuff, but it's crazy how they're paying this man over $100 million on the backs of black entertainers and musicians. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of people have decided to unsubscribe from Spotify, because they're paying the talent like 3 pennies per spin. And they're giving this man who has openly used racist slurs, have said disgusting things about people. I'm not against freedom of speech. Have your freedom of speech. But with that, we as black creators, anybody that's a musician has the right to have their freedom of speech and decide to withdraw their music and decide to not help them, a person who clearly doesn't care for the black community, don't care about no other culture but himself, help to pay his bill and keep his light bills and his lights on and everything else on. Like, no, that's not okay. You are literally ripping people off to pay him. You're building off of black entertainers, and then you want to put out this sorry statement. The Spotify owner, the owner and the CEO of Spotify put out a statement basically trying to soften up the situation to say, well, we deleted over 100 episodes of his podcast, but we're not going to release him because we believe in freedom of speech. But how quick were they to drop Joe Budden from their network? They dropped him like hotcakes, all because he wanted a raise and make sure that his staff was paid properly. But Joe Rogan gets $100 million. Mind you, the Joe Budden podcast has over 200 million downloads worldwide. Over 100 million downloads worldwide. Between that number, they're like literally at the top tier when it comes to views. But they didn't want to pay Joe Budden that money, allegedly. They didn't want to pay the black podcaster that money, allegedly, who has proven himself over and over again in this industry, or his co-host, the proper amount of money for his views. But they took all that money and they gave it to Joe Rogan, $100 million. So you took Joe Budden's check, gave it to Joe Rogan. You took Arie's money, gave it to Joe Rogan. You took every black entertainer's money and just gave it to this man who was making comments and saying that him stepping out of the car in the black community is like walking into the Planet of the Apes. Y'all, anybody listen to me on Spotify, if y'all decide not to listen to me anymore on Spotify after this, I totally agree. Feel free to listen to my podcast on all of the other outlets that's there, and I will leave my link tree below so you can decide to remove your subscriptions from these people, because this is an absolute joke. And the thing is that people try to say, oh, it's freedom of speech and freedom. Okay, so is lynching people freedom of speech and freedom of action? Like, when do we start saying that being racist and throwing out racial slurs is just so great and it's just freedom of speech? Is it because you just invested $100 million into this dude and you don't want him to leave? He's over here going on a deletion spree. It doesn't matter how many videos and podcasts he deleted. That video is still going to be out on the web. I have the video on my phone of him cursing and calling the N-word and making jokes and using the full word. Saying, for more of my commentary, make sure you guys hit that link on my page and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and much, much more. Appreciate you.